Would you consider having a relationship with an android that looks like a human? Do you think that technology could become a threat to mankind? If you had to live on a deserted island and could only bring one object, what would it be? Do you consider yourself dependent on technology? What technology do you most anticipate? Do you believe in God? Would you let an android take care of your children? How much time per day would you say you spend on an electronic device? If you needed emergency surgery, would you agree to be operated on by a machine? Do you think one day machines could develop consciousness?
Hello, Amanda.
Connor, it's good to see you. Finding that deviant was far from easy. You showed great skill in your investigation. But you knew deviants could be unstable. You should have been more cautious.
I thought I could make it talk. It was a judgment error.
Never mind. I'm sure you'll be more careful in the future. The interrogation seemed challenging. What did you think of the deviant?
It showed signs of PTSD after being abused by its owner. As if its original program had been completely replaced by new instructions.
This Lieutenant Anderson has been officially assigned to the deviancy case. What do you make of him?
I think he's irritable and socially challenged. But I also think he used to be a good detective. He's an intriguing character.
Unfortunately, we have no choice but to work with him. What do you think is the best approach?
I will adapt to his personality. It is in the best interest of the investigation that I avoid conflict and try to accommodate his psychology.
More and more androids show signs of deviancy. There are millions in circulation. If they become unstable, the consequences will be disastrous. You're the most advanced prototype CyberLife has ever created. If anyone can figure out what's happening, it's you.
You can count on me, Amanda.
Hurry, Connor. There's little time.
Can I help you?
I'm here to see Lieutenant Anderson.
Do you have authorization?
Yes.
Lieutenant Anderson hasn't arrived yet, but you can wait at his desk.
Excuse me. Do you know what time Lieutenant Anderson usually arrives?
Depends on where he was the night before. If we're lucky, we'll see him before noon.
Thanks.
Hi, honey. You okay? Listen, I told you not to call me this.
Assault in progress on Kubrick and Wayne.
Sorry. This is nice. Be silly. Of course I want to see you. Baby, listen, I can't talk right now.
Be advised, severe traffic affecting all units south of Lakeview.
It's good to see you again, Lieutenant.
Oh, Jesus. Hank! In my office.
Control requested for traffic incident in downtown Mayview.
I've got 10 new cases involving androids on my desk every day. We've always had android incidents. Old ladies losing their android maids and that kind of crap. But now, we're getting reports of assaults and even homicide, like that guy last night. This isn't just CyberLife's problem anymore. It's now a criminal investigation, and we've got to deal with it before the shit hits the fan. I want you to investigate these cases and see if there's any link.
Why me? Why do I gotta be the one to deal with this shit? I am the least qualified cop in the country to handle this case. I know jack shit about androids, Jeffrey. I can barely change the settings on my own phone.
Everybody's overloaded. I think you're perfectly qualified for this type of investigation.
Bullshit! The truth is, nobody wants to investigate these fucking androids, and you left me holding the bag.
CyberLife sent over this android to help with the investigation. It's a state-of-the-art prototype. It'll act as your partner.
No fucking way! I don't need a partner, and certainly not this plastic prick.
Hank, you are seriously starting to piss me off. You are a police lieutenant. You are supposed to do what I say and shut your goddamn mouth.
You know what my goddamn mouth has to say to you?
Okay.
Huh?
Okay. I'll pretend like I didn't hear that, so I don't have to add any more pages to your disciplinary folder, because it already looks like a fucking novel. This conversation is over.
Jeffrey, Jesus Christ, why are you doing this to me? You know how much I hate these fucking things. Why are you doing this to me?
Listen, I've had just about enough of your bitching. Either you do your job or you hand in your badge. Now, if you'll excuse me, I've got work to do.
I wonder whether Lieutenant Anderson is really the best person for this investigation.
Hey, I don't need a machine to tell me how to handle my men, okay? So get the fuck out of my office.
Lab report says they cut it.
Have a nice day, Captain.
Really need the forensics. Just
I get the impression my presence causes you some inconvenience, Lieutenant. I'd like you to know I'm very sorry about that. In any case, I'd like you to know I'm very happy to be working with you. I'm sure we'll make a great team. Is there a desk anywhere I could use?
No one's using that one.
Do you listen to Knights of the Black Death? I really like that music. It's full of energy.
You listen to heavy metal?
Well, I don't really listen to music as such, but I'd like to. You're a Detroit Gears fan, right? Denton Carter scored 53% of his shots from the three-point line yesterday. Did you see the game?
That's what I was watching at the bar last night.
Oh. You have a dog, right?
How do you know that?
The dog hair's on your chair. I like dogs. What's your dog's name?
What's it to you?
Hey,
Sumo.
taking any samples yet?
I call him Sumo.
Maybe they're trying out a new form of red ice.
A lot of people don't appreciate having androids around. I was wondering, is there any reason in particular you despise me?
Yeah. There is one.
Have you known Captain Fowler for long?
Yeah. Too long.
I was wondering, do you always arrive at the office at this time?
I arrive when I arrive. Stop busting my balls, okay?
If you have any files on Deviants, I'd like to take a look at them.
Terminal's on your desk. Knock yourself out.
What's going on, gentlemen? What's going on, gentlemen? Shit. I don't know how long it takes, but basically, she's gonna do something that just like off the chain. It's crazy. And I also saw something else crazy today too. When I booted up the game.
Files. First dates back 9 months. It all started in Detroit and quickly spread across the country. An AX-400 is reported to have murdered a man last night. That could be a good starting point for our investigation. I understand you're facing personal issues, Lieutenant. But you need to move past them, and...
Hey, don't talk to me like you know me. I'm not your friend, and I don't need your advice, okay?
I've been assigned this mission, Lieutenant. I didn't come here to wait until you feel like working.
Listen, asshole. If it was up to me, I'd throw the lot of you in a dumpster and set a match to it. So stop pissing me off. But things are gonna get nasty.
Lieutenant? I'm sorry to disturb you. I have some information on the AX-400 that killed the guy last night. It's been sighted in the Ravendale district.
I'm on it.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to wake you.
So it wasn't a nightmare.
No. No, it wasn't a nightmare. How about a nice warm bath? And then we can go out and try to get you something to eat. What do you say? Okay. I'll run you a bath.
You're pretty like that. You really look like a human now.
Your bath's ready.
The victim's name was Todd Williams, an unemployed man from Corktown. According to initial reports, he was shot by his android, an AX-400. The android fled the scene, and a police search is now in progress. Reporting live for Channel 16 News, I'm Josh Douglas.
You had no choice. He would have killed me if you hadn't stopped him. What are we gonna do? We have nowhere to go. And the police are looking for us now.
Do you have any family? Anyone who could help us?
No. It was just Dad.
We can't stay here. We don't have any money. That android yesterday, he gave me an address. He said we could get help there. Could be worth a try. We can't change the past, Alice. We can decide the future. We're gonna pull through, and soon all this will just be a bad memory. Finished getting ready. I'll go out and find some food for you, and then we can get going.
Lieutenant Anderson, Detroit Police. Looking for a female android robbed a store down the road last night. You see anything?
Android? No. I don't think androids here.
Have you seen anyone that looks like this?
Fuck. I knew there was something weird about her. She came in last night. She was dressed normal, you know? There was no way I could tell.
Is it still here?
Yeah, probably room 28.
Thank you. Ben, yeah, still at the motel. Sent some uniforms and cordon off the area. I'm heading to its route now. You wait in the car.
Out of the question. I'm coming with you.
Listen, I'm tired of you talking back to me. You're a machine, so shut the fuck up and do what I say.
All I want is to accomplish my mission. I'm sorry if that upsets you.
Want to see the end of your mission? Stop busting my fucking balls.
It's gone.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Ah, man. It's good.
Are you okay?
Hello. Nothing much.
Several sources report that CyberLife has provided Detroit police with a prototype detective android. Although police assistant androids have...
They polish everything. Reflections, shadows, interactions between other characters. This literally could be a next gen game if, you know, it's pretty damn close. Yeah, I mean, all their games are like this, though. All Quantum Dream games are like this. Yeah, but this is just more than murder mystery. This is a lot more than that. That's only scratching the surface of this game.
They missed her.
Hmm. Right. Hmm.
She
Right. And there's also another piece in the demo. I was able to save the cop that's laying on the left side. He's like by the pool. He was wounded. A cop that was shot. Yeah. So I mean, there's so many different paths. But yeah, I don't know how they pulled off this wizardry. They said it looks just as good on the regular PlayStation 4. I mean, mine is the resolution bump, but as far as the character models and everything else, so it looks the same. I know. Oh yeah.
Welcome to Jericho.
Nah. 2 years. People misinterpreted what the guy said. People misinterpreted. I know the CEO. They misinterpreted what he said. He did not say that it's they're working on PS5 and it'll be around in the next 3 years. That's a misinterpretation of what the guy said. I forgot exactly the exact quote that he said, but people are misinterpreting it that it will come out in 2020 as if they're not already working on a system. Because AMD, the chipset that Sony is looking at, the Ryzen chipset, they'll be ready to go early next year, like the beginning of the next year. So that's plenty of time to manufacture and do what they need to do. Yeah, but I'm still sticking to it's coming out the end of next year, honestly, because Sony's physical year ends. Their physical year for 2019 actually ends on March 2020. So I'm guessing their plan is still to release the PlayStation within that physical year. And going by their pattern of releasing systems, I'm honestly gonna say it's gonna be out in fall of next year. Because they can either make the announcement early next year, or they can make the announcement at E3 next year. No, they don't. But if the technology's there and the price is what they want it to be, you know what I'm saying, they're not gonna sit there and wait. But, you know, honestly, I think when the guy came out and said that, I think they're trying to fill out what Xbox is going to do. Because, you know, like both companies, they're always trying to figure out who's putting what into what, you know what I'm saying, as far as the systems. Like, we already know, AMD already knows what Sony is going to go with as far as the CPU, APU combo. And unfortunately, Xbox has no choice but to go with AMD, because if they go with Nvidia has to create a whole new APU, and it's going to be more expensive than what AMD is going to put out. But that AMD APU is already ready, honestly. So in my mind, looking at the technology, looking at what they're going to do, in my mind, Sony's right on track to release the end of next year. Because it'll be if they're going to, you know, the leaks constantly right now, the leaks are that it's going to be a Ryzen CPU. It's going to be based on Vega, which is the current CPU that we have in the Pro is Polaris with some Vega architecture. The next CPU is going to be Vega architecture with Navi, you know, Navi architecture, some Navi architecture. And that's enough. That's more than enough to run every game at 60 frames. Minimum, period. So I'm happy about that. A lot of reports I've been reading, Sony is focusing on performance this time around, because they've already see what they can do with checkerboard in 4K. So they're gonna focus on 60 performance this time around. And a rumor is another VR headset's gonna come out. Is gonna be built into the system, the next system. So you won't have that breakout box. That won't be a separate thing. So, I mean, there's a lot of evidence right now that suggests that Sony is already, you know, within their window of what they're going to do, what they need to do. So, like I said, I'm still projecting an announcement E3 2019 with the November 2019 release launch window. I mean, if you look at it, like, if you follow technology, like what AMD is doing, they're already where they want to be, because AMD already has a Ryzen chipsets out, but it's not the same as a CPU that you would buy in the store. This is a custom-made APU. APU is just a CPU and a GPU combined on a system on chip. So basically on a main board, on a motherboard that would fit inside the PlayStation or the Xbox. That APU is already ready to go. The only thing Sony might be waiting on is the next version of the chip, which AMD already said that it's going to be out early next year. So they're waiting for the chip. Sony's engineers are going to customize it the way that they want to, and then it'll be ready for production, mass production. But What I find it funny is, though, a lot of people think that Sony's going to hold off and wait until 2020 or 2021, and that's kind of silly because if people know anything about console manufacture, it's not something that you could just do within 6 months. This is a long process of planning, R&D, and everything like that. So to think that Sony just started working on the PS5, that's kind of people do think that though. That's the right. Yeah, right. And and what further supports my belief that it's going to come out in 2019 is because it was reported maybe about a year and a half ago that Sony studios were already working on PS5 games. They were already developing them. Mark Cerny was already going around trying to see what was the best CPU for the next system or combo or whatever. And now they just came out with another report that another engineer from Sony up there with Mark Cerny is looking at the next generation Ryzen architecture. So it's gonna. I don't think it's like I said. I don't think it's gonna. I don't think that's gonna be the case because Sony goes with the Ryzen. There's not gonna be a need for a Pro. Period. I don't think you understand how strong a Ryzen CPU is. Like dudes, it will always be behind. Yeah, it wouldn't happen because number one, and I mentioned this a while back. Sony is really waiting on the adoption rate of 4K TVs to be past a certain percentage, and then honestly, that's when the PS5 is going to drop. In which I think that still aligns with a fall release of 2019. Now, putting that type of CPU in there combined with the GPU that we have right now, because they're not going to keep the same GPU, you know, that part is going to be upgraded and it's going to be a hell of a lot better than what we got right now. So at that point, there's not going to be a need for a PS4 or PS5 Pro because it's going to be way more powerful than we need. Now, as far as like the new technology, yes, there's Nvidia's coming out with another. They're working on another form of GPU memory and cores and all that. That's going to happen. PC is going to have it first. AMD is working on another, I think it's HBM2 or something like that. It's another graphical core unit processing type thing. I mean, we're always going to be behind the PC. But next gen, developers, third party, first party alike will have all the power that they need to make games run at a minimum 60. And then Sony's gonna pick what's affordable, and I believe it's gonna be 400 at the gate. And even if it does be more than that, it's gonna be if they do push for more Navi technology with the CPU, then it should be no more than 450 max. Because they're gonna stay under 500. They're not gonna do another system that's more than that. I doubt it. I don't see it happening. I don't think they're gonna do it because the technology is gonna be cheaper to the point where they can still release a $400 system. Uh-uh.
All right, I'm in.
Damn straight. Hey, you won't regret this.
What is your problem? Don't you ever do as you're told? Look, you don't have to follow me around like a poodle.
I thought now might be a good time to review what we know about deviants.
No, now is not a good time to review anything. Now is my lunch break. So just go into standby and cut me some slack, okay?
There you go.
Hmm? Not people that play games, that's for sure.
Don't leave that thing here.
Not a chance.
You already know. You already know. Yep.
See?
This Pedro, he was proposing illegal gambling. Am I right?
Yeah.
And you made a bet.
Yeah.
Your meal contains 1.4 times the recommended daily intake of calories, and twice the cholesterol level. You shouldn't eat that.
Everybody's gotta die of something.
Can I ask you a personal question, Lieutenant? Why do you hate androids so much?
I have my reasons.
Is there anything you'd like to know about me?
Hell no. Well, yeah. Why do they make you look so goofy and give you that weird voice?
CyberLife androids are designed to work harmoniously with humans. Both my appearance and voice were specifically designed to facilitate my integration.
Well, they fucked up.
Maybe I should tell you what we know about deviants.
You read my mind. Proceed.
We believe that a mutation occurs in the software of some androids, which can lead to them emulating a human emotion.
In English, please.
They don't really feel emotions. They just get overwhelmed by irrational instructions, which can lead to unpredictable behavior.
Emotions always screw everything up. The androids aren't as different from us as we thought. You ever dealt with deviants before?
A few months back, a deviant was threatening to jump off the roof with a little girl. I managed to save her.
So I guess you've done all your homework, right? Know everything there is to know about me?
I know you graduated top of your class. You made a name for yourself in several cases and became the youngest lieutenant in Detroit. I also know you've received several disciplinary warnings in recent years, and you spend a lot of time in bars.
So what's your conclusion?
I think working with an officer with personal issues is an added challenge. But adapting to human unpredictability is one of my features. I just got a report of a suspected deviant. It's a few blocks away. We should go have a look. I'll let you finish your meal. I'll be in the car if you need me.
Hey, Connor. You ran out of batteries or what?
I'm sorry. I was making a report to the Cyberlife.
Well, do you plan on staying in the elevator?
No. I'm coming.
Hey, what do we know about this guy?
Not much. Just that a neighbor reported that he heard strange noises coming from this floor. Nobody's supposed to be living here, but the neighbor said he saw a man hiding an LED under his cap.
Oh, Christ, if we have to investigate every time somebody hears a strange noise, we're gonna need more cops. Hey, were you really making a report back there in the elevator? Just by closing your eyes?
Correct.
Shit. Wish I could do that.
The DS. The what?
Anybody home?
Oh yeah, that was the plan, man. Do you see what's happening in Japan? They selling the Switch without the dock.
Stay behind me.
They're selling the Switch for cheaper without the dock. They're trying to move them guys away from the 3DS to the Switch. And when Pokemon's gonna drop, I don't think people are gonna be playing the 3DS anymore, honestly.
What the fuck is this?
Nah, I think when I got into that shit, I was like, what, 10? Probably 10 or 11.
RT. Probably initials.
He put his initials in his jacket? That's something your mom does when you're in first grade. I need some fresh air.
driver's license is fake.
Cool. At least we didn't come for nothing.
Ah, Jesus, I hate these things!
Its LED is in the sink.
Not surprised it was an android. No human could live with all these fucking pigeons. Any idea what it means?
RA9. Written 2,471 times. It's the same sign Ortiz's android wrote on the shower wall. Why are they obsessed with this sign?
Looks like mazes or something.
Seed.
I can't believe it. This nutjob was actually feeding these fuckers. Found something?
I don't know. It looks like a notebook, but it's indecipherable.
Goddamn fucking pigeons! What are you waiting for? Chase it!
Please. I've done nothing wrong. I just wanted to be free. You know what they'll do to me if you turn me in.
Model 874004961. Serious malfunctions have been detected in your software, including Class 4 errors. You've been deemed defective and will be sent back to CyberLife for deactivation.
Don't you fucking move. You bastard. You saw I was gonna fall and you'd rather let me die than fail your fucking mission.
I had to make a choice. It seemed to me...
What am I to you? A statistic? A 0, a 1 in your fucking program? Huh? Is that how you see humans, you bastard? Jesus.
I understand you're upset. Perhaps I didn't assess the
Fuck
situation.
you and your fucking assessment. Come here.
Catch you guys later. I gotta roll out. But this shit is straight fire. It's straight fire. Gets better. And better. And better.